Still to come on Chicago Tonight, Paula Kerger, the head of PBS, will join us to talk about the future of public broadcasting. The growing culture in Chicago of biking without brakes. Commentator Mancom Muller on the lies we hear every day. And the candidates in the 5th Congressional District on why you should vote for them. But first, it is art that is meant to inspire, but only a select few get to see it. For a century, many of the paintings have hung above student lockers in the corridors of Lane Tech High. Now, on the school's 100th anniversary, the art collection is going public.
The school is like a mini museum.
Brawny scenes of industry share the walls with wide views of natural harmony. Many have shared the space with the students since 1908, but now 11 of these giant murals are on the move.
This is maybe once every 100 years. These murals might leave the school and be presented in this way.
They traveled from Lane Tech College Prep High School on the north side to the Chicago Cultural Center downtown.
They're wonderful works to share with the public, and they do speak to a progressive era of American art history that we wanted to bring to the fore here at the Cultural Center.
I think the story, for me, of the journey of these murals from Addison and Western to Michigan and Randolph is sort of a dream come true, because the project started in 1995 with the restoration of one mural that was in total disrepair. It was actually ripping out of its frame. And I thought if we didn't start to do something to save that painting, that we would lose it.
They saved that painting and cleaned and restored 66 others. Leading the effort was a retired teacher from Lane Tech.
This one is called Festival Procession. And you have to really look at the painting to figure out what is going on.
When Flora called me in 1994 to come over to the school and look at a torn painting, it was really the moment how this all began. I walked in Lane Tech thinking I was going to see a torn painting. What I saw was about 75 murals. I just couldn't believe what I was looking at. I had no idea that all this wonderful artwork was sitting in the school. So when we talked about fixing the tear, I said, Flora, there's a much bigger conservation, possibility here. We could work on these pictures. We could use them as a teaching tool.
They started a class in art restoration and put the students to work.
If students get really engaged in a project, they are your biggest supporters.
It's fitting, then, that the earliest paintings in the collection were made by student artists at the School of the Art Institute. Others were painted by German-born artist Henry Brandt. During the Depression, more murals were added to the collection from artists hired by the Works Progress Administration. Themes were often relevant to the technical instruction students received at Lane Tech.
Lane Tech was probably a coal-burning home at one time, and all that smoke and soot would have gone into the air. It had completely layered the pictures.
We would have people who couldn't believe that this could be so expensive say to me, you can't just use 409 and a sponge. I said, no.
They raised funds through the Board of Education, the Alumni Association, and a grassroots alliance of teachers and students.
We sold taco sauce and taco chips and cookies, and actually had a carnival in the parking lot to raise money. It was a wonderful effort by people who loved the school and cared about the students to make sure that these paintings would be there for future generations of Lane Tech students.
There certainly have been a lot of people who were involved, but it really all goes back to Flora Duty. She was the one who initially made that spark of a recognition of what the school had and how much better it could be served in education.
The placement of the paintings throughout the 3 galleries most of them are eye level, and I have never ever seen them this way. So it's just wonderful to be able to get up close and personal with my murals. I kind of think of them as being mine in a way. It sounds really corny, but I was as close to tears when I walked in, because this has been in the works for such a long time. Did we really do this? Did we really get this all together so we could have this exhibition?
The exhibition is called Hidden Treasures, the Lane Tech Murals. It continues at the Chicago Cultural Center through the end of December. And in the new year, the paintings will head back to Lane Tech. There's more information on our website.